Morning, Kasturians. In this video, we will discuss chapter The Imperial Capital Vijayanagara. Let's start. In the previous video, we have discussed how Vijayanagara Kingdom or Hampi was discovered by Colin Mackenzie and who founded this empire and what was the Karnataka's Samrajya Yamu and what was the basic relation between kings and the traders, what sort of trading activities were chiefly operated in the Vijayanagar Empire, and who were the famous rulers of the Vijayanagar Empire. So today we will discuss the relationship between the sultans and the rayas. The sultans, they were the reasons for destruction of the city of Vijayanagar in the battle of Talikota, that was in 1565. But the relationship between the sultans and the rayas, it was not always hostile in spite of the religious differences. Like, for example, we can say Raja Krishna Dev Raya, he supported some claimants to power in the sultanates and took over the title the establisher of the Yavana kingdom. Similarly, the Sultan of Bijapur, he also intervened in an attempt to resolve the succession dispute in Vijayanagar after the death of Raja Krishna Dev Raya. According to historians, Vijayanagar's kings, they were keen to ensure the stability of the sultanates, and the sultanates, they were also keen to establish stability in Vijayanagara kingdom. But due to adventurous policies of Ramaraya and his attempt to play off one sultan against another, the sultans, they came together and defeated Ramaraya. The military chiefs in the Vijayanagar kingdom, they were known as the Nayaks, and they exercised power and controlled the forts and had armed supporters. These chiefs or the Nayaks, they often moved from one place to another, and many a times they were accompanied by peasants who used to look for fertile land, and they brought this land under their control and settled there. The Nayaks, they spoke Telugu or Kannada language, and many of the Nayaks, they were under the control of the kings of Vijayanagara, but they often rebelled and faced military action by the kings. Now, this Amara Nayaka system, the Amara Nayaka system was a major political innovation of the Vijayanagara Empire. Most probably, the features of this system, they were derived from the Ikta system of Delhi Sultanate. The Amarnayakas, they were military commanders and they were given territories to be governed by them under the name of the Raya or the Raja. The duty of the Amarnayakas was to collect the taxes and other dues from the peasants, craftsmen and traders in the area, and after keeping a part of the revenue for personal use and for maintaining a stipulated contingent of horses and elephants, the tax so collected or the revenue so collected was to be submitted to the king or the Raya. Some of the revenue was also used for maintenance of temples and irrigation works. The tribute was sent to the king annually, and the Nayaks or the Amar Nayaks, they personally appeared in the royal court with gifts to express their loyalty towards the kings. The kings, they asserted their control over them by transferring them from one place to another, and in course of time the independent kingdoms were established, and this was one of the cause that weakened and ultimately result in the decline of the Vijayanagar Empire. Now we will see the features of the water resources in the Vijayanagar Empire. Since earlier we have told that Vijayanagar Empire, it was located in the natural basins formed by river Tungabhadra that flows in the northeastern direction. The large granite hills they formed a girdle around the city, and a number of streams they flowed from these rocky outcrops into the river. And to create the reservoirs of different sizes, embankments were built along these streams. And since Vijayanagara was one of the most arid zones of the peninsula, elaborate arrangements were made to store rainwater to be used in the city. When we see Kamalapuram tank, it was the most important tank built in the early years of the 15th century. Water from this tank was used not only to irrigate the fields but also to channel water into the royal center also. The Hiria Canal was one of the most prominent waterworks of this kingdom. This canal drew water from a dam which was built across the river Tungabhadra, and this water was used to irrigate the cultivated fields that separated the sacred center from the urban core. And this canal was built by the kings of Sangama dynasty. Now we will see the features of fortification. When we see the accounts of foreign traveler Abdul Razak, who was actually an ambassador sent to the Vijayanagar Empire by Turkish Sultan. Abdul Razak, he was an ambassador which was sent by the ruler of Persia to Calicut in 15th century, and he was very much impressed by the fortifications, and he mentioned 7 lines of the forts. According to Abdul Razak, the forts they were encircled not only the city but also its regular agricultural hinterlands and forests. The outermost wall was linked to the hills surrounding the city, and the construction was slightly tapered. No mortar or cementing agent was used anywhere in the construction. The stone blocks were wedge shaped, which held them in place, and the inner portion of the walls was of earth packed with rubble. Square or rectangular bastions projected outwards. And the most important feature of this fortification was its incorporation of the agricultural tracts, because the rulers they were well prepared to face the sieges and its consequences. According to Abdul Razak, between the first, second and the third walls there are cultivated fields, gardens and houses. Why these agricultural lands they were incorporated within the fortified area? Because during the medieval period the major objective of the sieges was to starve the defenders into submission. That is, whenever an attack was planned, the first priority was to seize the supply so that the persons who are in the fort they will feel captive and they will automatically surrender. So these surges could continue for months and sometimes even years. The rulers they were ready to face it with proper arrangements by building large granaries within fortified areas, and the rulers of the Vijayanagar kingdom they adopted more expensive and elaborate method of protecting the agricultural belt by incorporating agricultural tracts in the fort. The second line of fortification it went around the inner tracts and inner core of the urban complex, and the third line it surrounded the royal center, within which each set of major building was surrounded by its own high walls, and the fort was entered through well guarded gates that ultimately led to the major roads. And these gateways were well defined architectural features. The gateway was having an arch that was leading into the fortified settlement or well, as the dome over the gate is regarded as typical feature of the architecture introduced by the Turkish sultans. And that's why it is often said that the Vijayanagar kingdom, it was an influence of the Turkish sultans and the Sultanate periods. The urban center was there. The kingdom was divided into urban center, the royal center, and the sacred place. In the urban center, which was known as the urban core, the roads within which the city and those leading out of it were there. There have been identified by tracing paths through gateways and finds of pavements. Moving along these roads, which led into the urban core, there was little archaeological evidence of the houses of ordinary people. The Chinese porcelain have been found in some areas of the urban core by archaeologists, and this suggests that these areas may have been occupied by rich traders. The tombs and mosques which were located have distinctive features. The ordinary people of the Vijayanagara Empire, they lived in ordinary houses, and this is how the 16th century Portuguese traveler Barbosa, he described the houses of ordinary people. The field surveys, they indicate that wells, rainwater tanks and temple tanks of the various small shrines, they scattered throughout the urban core, and which might have served as sources of water for the ordinary dwellers or ordinary settlers. That's all we have in this video. In the next video we will discuss about the royal center or the of the Vijayanagar Empire. Thank you and have a nice day.